So A7, this one is going to be a bit of a challenge for many of you. I encourage you to take your time and think it through. I'm going to give you some structural ideas and show you some possible ways to approach this. So A7 is a rock, paper, scissors game using custom functions. The custom functions are the point of the assignment. So I want you to use custom functions for this. You could do this with no custom functions. I don't want that. I want you to absolutely use custom functions here. But here are some rules, if you will. The game needs to be player versus computer. In other words, I'm assuming everybody knows how rock, paper, scissors works, right? You know the rules of the game. So rock, paper, scissors, right? Rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. Why do I do that instead of just the guessing game? Well, because that three-way relationship between rock, paper, and scissors requires a more advanced logic than just did you guess the number correctly or not, right? Because you have to figure out who won. So you need to use at least one function in your code. The game should go up to 3 rounds or more if there are ties, right? Because if both guess scissors, then nobody wins. And declare the winner, either the computer wins or the player wins after one, somebody wins 2. So it'd be best of 3 wins. After a winner is declared, the program should ask if the user wants to play another game. So as you're starting to think about, like, what do I use custom functions for in this? You want to think about what are the big things that are happening in the game? What do we have to figure out in order to play rock, paper, scissors? Right? So one thing is, like, the user has to be able to take a turn. So we want to get rock, paper, scissors guess from them, and we want to make sure that they're using valid input, right? If they have to enter rock, paper, or scissors. They can't cheat and enter like dynamite or something like that. There's only 3 choices, so we have to clean up their input. We have to standardize it, and we have to return that to the game. We also have to get the computer's guess. The computer has to choose rock, paper, or scissors. When the computer does that, right, it's going to send back rock, paper, or scissors. So we have to be able to compare what the user puts in to what the computer puts in, which means we have to standardize those inputs. Now, I like to just keep it really simple and use like lowercase RPS, rock, paper, scissors, for those inputs so that I can easily compare one to the other. The last piece of this is, and this is where the logic gets a little tricky, right, is you have to decide who wins each round. So if the computer does scissors and I do rock, we have to figure out, oh, this beats this, because you can't just say is one greater than the other or anything like that. You actually have to build the logic out for figuring out who wins. So it takes the user turn, it takes the computer's turn, it takes us as inputs, parameters, right? And then outputs or returns who won, or if it was a tie. So when we're thinking about that logic, this is kind of what we're looking at. And some of you are just going, like, having a little bit of a meltdown. It's okay, just take a breath. It's cool. It's not that complicated, really. It's just a flow chart. But if you think about it, the computer is going to choose rock, paper, or scissors. And then based on what the user isn't, they don't have 9 choices. They only have 3 choices. The computer can choose rock, and the user chooses rock, paper, or scissors. Okay? If the user chooses rock and the computer chooses rock, the outcome is a tie. If the computer chooses rock and the user chooses paper, the user wins. If the user chooses scissors, the computer wins. So there's 3 choices for the computer. There's 3 choices for the user. Okay? So there are 9 different possible combinations of those things. 3 squared right? If you have two different people, the computer each chooses three. That's 3 squared, which is 9. But when you boil it down here, there's really only 3 possible outcomes. There's a tie, there's a user win, or there's a computer win. So if we think about it in points, if the user wins that round, they get a point. If the computer wins that round, they get a point. If they tie, nobody gets a point. But we can eliminate, out of these 9 possible combinations, we can easily eliminate 3 by just checking to see if the user's value and the computer's value are the same. Because we don't have to do any more logic after that. That's just a tie. So that brings us down to only 6 possible things we have to check for. Okay, so this is what the logic looks like in a flowchart. Some of you, this will make more sense. For some of you, it'll make more sense when we start seeing it in code. Just depends. Different people learn different ways. So I'd like to show you both. So let's get into some code here. So I'm going to start out by making some functions. Okay. So the functions that we need, def, I'm going to call it user turn. The user turn doesn't take any parameters because what it involves is when I call this function, what I want it to do is get user input, clean up, input, bless you, and return RPS, one of those things. Now, if I run this right now and I call that function, I'm going to get an error because I don't have any runnable code inside that code block. We'll ignore that for right now because I'm just kind of thinking about things, planning out. The other function that I need is the computer turn. The computer turn also does not require any parameters. In the computer's turn, all it needs to do is choose RPRS and return it. And then there's one more function. This is going to be the who won function. Okay? df who won. Now, this function is going to take 2 arguments for its 2 parameters. str, the computer's guess, and str, the user's guess. So I'm going to take RPRS from user turn, RPRS from computer's turn, and I'm going to feed them into these 2 spots. And this function is going to use those 2 things to decide, did they tie, did the user win, or did the computer win? So it's going to just send back a T, a U, or a C, depending on who won or if it was a tie. So first thing I'm going to do is check for a tie, because I can eliminate 3 out of my 9 choices, bring it down to just 6. Then, if not a tie, then do logic to decide winner. And then finally, we are going to return winner.